Hey up, it's Steve from Old Yorkshire Geek and welcome to episode 86 of Magnificent Mondays, and this week we are doing Aliens, the special edition. Apologies I'm a couple of minutes late. I had no real reason. I were finishing, I were doing what they call it, I were rendering a video, and I thought, I'd better not start a stream while I'm rendering the video, but it barely audible, I know, I tell you. They're faffed with stuff again, aren't they? StreamYard. How's that? Is that louder? Is that louder? Is that Nicky? Probably blasting out now. Unbelievable. Let me check. Let's see how I'm sounding at my end. StreamYards keep faffing with their audio, don't they? The joys of live stuff and nonsense. Where are we? There we go. Still not super loud, is it? Still not super loud. Right. Hang on. Right, let's go into the settings then. Because I had to. Because there was a time when I were blasting out, wasn't I? And I had to lower it. Right, we'll put it up to 200. Right, I'm a louder now. I'm a louder. We'll see. I'm going to have a listen again. On me YouTube channel. View your channel, it says. Still not much louder, am I? I've got on full volume, aren't I? Is my volume loud on me thingy-my-bob? Come on, StreamYard, sort out your bloody audio problems. We're going to have to make do, aren't we? We're going to have to make do. We're going to have to make do. Right, anyway, right, so whatever. I will move the microphone closer to me. Right, we're off again. I'll begin again, shall I? Welcome to episode 86 of Magnificent Mondays. This week we're doing Aliens Special Edition. There's me box set, Alien it's Alien Anthology. So what's this got in then? It's not just it's just the quadrilogy. It used to be called the quadrilogy, didn't it? Now it's the anthology. But great box set. Nearly dropped them then. I forgot what I'm going to say now. Before we start, don't forget, like and subscribe, share the videos, drop a comment, and stuff like that. Share the videos, drop a comment. Hit the notification bell, that's the one, if you're subscribed already. Right, we should be live on you. Well, I know we're live on YouTube because I blooming saw it. We should be live on Rumble, fingers crossed. Give it a refresh, press play. Are you going to come on? Yes. And we should be live on Twitch, yes. I'll say it again. Don't know why I do Twitch. Genuinely don't know. Windgrace asks, what is this movie about? Earthlings? Surprised there hasn't been a film called that, isn't there? I bet there has. I bet there's been a film called Earthlings at some point. Right, Aliens Special Edition. Everybody's seen this film, haven't they? By the way, I've put up my audio commentary for this, which I recorded earlier on today. It's for members of the YouTube channel. So if you've got a copy of it, you can watch along with me. I've put a big timestamp on the video. If you're a member, you can do that. Description, links in the description. That's what I forgot. Explore the links in the description for stuff like merch, me books, Amazon Kindle and paperback, and all that stuff, and other links for like my websites, mercuryrapids.co.uk, the old Yorkshire Geek.co.uk, etc. Right, Aliens, 1986. The third film from James Cameron, obviously his first being Piranha 2: The Spawning, which I've never got round to watching. And then he followed that up with the Terminator, didn't he? And then Aliens. He'd done some writing in between. He wrote the screenplay for Rambo 2 in between Terminator and this, I think. And it was a set a set designer, and he's basically done everything. I say super talented. Makes me bloody sick. But there you go. It got nominated. He wrote it as well, based on a story by James Cameron, David Giler, and Walter Hill. I think they had the idea of it being like, with soldiers in. I think David Giler said they had the idea of it being like Southern Comfort, a cross between Southern Comfort and something else, which I can't remember. But James Cameron obviously expanded on that and brought the Marines in. Based on characters created by Dan O'Bannon and Ronald Shusett. Stars obviously Sigourney Weaver, who got an Oscar nomination for this film. She didn't win. I forgot her name now. For Children of the Lesser God won it that year. Sigourney Weaver, Michael Biehn, Lance Henriksen, and all the others. I'm blanking suddenly. Paul Reiser, Carrie Henn, Bill Paxton, William Hope, Rico Ross, Al Matthews, and others. Jeanette Goldstein, Mark Rolston, Daniel Cash, Tip Tipping, cool name, and Trevor Steedman, and Cynthia Dale Scott, and Colette Hiller, who I've met at a convention, got her autograph, and posed for a photo with her. Who else is in it? Paul Maxwell's in it as well as Van Lowen. May remember him from The Haunting and other stuff. But anyway, whatever. A huge smash. One of the best films ever made. I don't think it made my top 10, did it though? I might have to reevaluate that after watching it today. So there might be a new top 10 coming. My favourite movies. It is a top-notch film, is this. Absolutely stunning. What was its budget? Its budget, 18.5 million, which is nothing, is it? Even back then, it wasn't a huge budget. It was a decent budget, but it wasn't a huge budget. Honestly, it did really, really well. Got 7 Oscar nominations, won 2 for special effects and sound, I think. And anyway, Aliens and Point Break. What about it? What about Aliens and Point Break? I don't know what you're on about. Win Grace. I've obviously said something again and then forgotten straight away what I've said. Anyway, oh, excuse me. I'm gone a little hoarse. Winnie. Oh, my new top 10. All right. I see. No, Point Break's not going in there. Don't know what people see in that film. Genuinely don't know what people see in that film. Sorry, Justin, if you're watching. Anyway, right, so let's get on with it, shall we? We're not going to watch the film, obviously, because YouTube would go mental. Going to watch it in a series of stills, and I'll talk about it, and we'll try and remember the things I've gleaned from the Superior Firepower documentary and other stuff that's on the Blu-ray set. One of the best, the documentaries on the Alien Anthology Blu-rays are the best going, are they? Or among the best going. Really good and informative. Good stuff, which is what you want. Not just loads of back slapping and, aren't we great? Not stuff like that. It's, gets into the nitty-gritty of it all. Right, so we'll get on with it. I shall full screen this baby. I shall pop myself down in the corner. Any second now. When I'm sort myself out. Is that it? There we go. Right, and we will begin. So, here it comes. So we get the old 20th Century Fox logo. I keep saying it, bring it back. There it is. Bring it back. I know that's similar, but it says studios. I want the Fox bit back. And as I've said, when they start doing new X-Men films, what they're going to do, because that used to... I know I've said it before, but I'm saying it again. The X used to be highlighted a little bit longer, didn't it? I wonder what they'll do. Will they just do it with these, with the lights? Will the lights cross to make an X? I don't know. But anyway, that's not for this film. Right, we're off. We're off, and we begin. Oh, why is it landing in weird places? Come, there we go. A Brandywine production. A James Cameron film. Stop landing on where you can't see it. There we go. And then we get the good old the Aliens logo. And I said in my audio commentary, this bit always reminds me of The Fly. He's the telepods in The Fly. just remind me of that. Which came out the same year as this. And there we go. Aliens. I think, actually, it says Alien. And then, but I think the S comes on a bit later. Oh, no, it doesn't. Never mind. Ignore me. I thought it said Alien, and then the S came on afterwards, but it doesn't, does it? Let's watch that again. Oh, no, it kind of does, doesn't it? It says it can make out Alien there, but the S forms last, doesn't it? It says Aliens. And the story is that James Cameron thought of the title, he wrote, because he wanted to do a sequel to Alien, and he wrote Alien and put a $ after it. So it was going to be called Alien $. But anyway, right, we're off with a flash of light. You're all blinded. We begin deep space with cool clouds and stuff, not just stars, nebulae. We're listening to the music. It says music composed by James Horner, but I think this bit that we're listening to now is, don't ask me which one it is. I think it's from Strauss, isn't it? Because we hear it in 2001. I will play a little bit. In a minute. If you can hear it. Are we on full volume? Yes, we are. Whatever. I think it's Strauss because they use it in 2001. So maybe it's in the trivia. I haven't got the trivia open. Never mind. I'm all a dither because my telly might go off any second now. Sort of like 2 minutes before I was supposed to go live. My telly just turned itself off, rebooted itself. So it may do that. So technical difficulties. Anyway, here we are. This is the Narcissus, the shuttle from the Nostromo, and here we go. We see the inside of it, and the space suit, and everything's covered in sparkly sparkles. And then everything bursts into life in that alien kind of way, with the weird noises that make and cool noises. And then a ship appears, and this reminds me of the ship from Battle Beyond, not the ship, the station, the Hephaestus station from Battle Beyond the Stars. And I wonder if it is, or maybe connected to it, because James Cameron did a lot of the production design of Battle Beyond the Stars, didn't he? He designed the spaceship with the fallopian tubes and boobs. And I presume also the Hephaestus station. So maybe this is a nod to that, I have no idea. But it does remind me of it. So I wonder what this ship looks like. Are we seeing it from below, or are we seeing it from the side? I don't know. It's just a mass of pipes and stuff. Hey, and Justin's here. Did someone say Point Break? That were Wind Grace trying to get me to add it to my top 10. It's not happening. Anyway, right, so here we go. By the way, we see here in the door, we see something appear at the door. There we go. If you look down, can you see it? There, we look down there. There's the harpoon gun that Ripley used on the alien in the first film. Nice little touch. Remember she fired it and then went out into space and she shut the door, trapping the harpoon gun. Why didn't it just cut I don't know, did it cut the cable or whatever? Because then there'd be a gap and air would be getting out, wouldn't it? But never mind. Right, so it cuts through this door. I don't know a part of this, I don't know which one. I think it's the thing that comes in on the arm with the laser. Galen Hurd, James Cameron's, I don't know if she was his wife at the time or they were in a relationship, they got married after, I'm not sure. She was the producer and she wouldn't give him the money to do this part, we'll say. So he had to pay for it out of his own pocket. Did James Cameron. Anyway, it is cool. And the door falls off with a clang. That retreats, and then another one comes in. I'm guessing it's, what do you call it, like a movie, like a boom arm, innit? That usually has a camera on it, the cameraman sitting on the end of it, or something like that. Anyway, here it comes with a laser. Maybe it's the same laser they used in the first one. Maybe they rented it from Led Zeppelin or The Who, I can't remember who, but here it is. Cool scanning stuff. I love this bit. When it gets to the helmet, for some reason, it's really satisfying when it does that. Oh, I pressed the wrong bloody button. There we go. When it goes through, I don't know. I just find it really satisfying. Right. So anyway, out it goes, and the chaps come in. The most honest and nice salvagers ever. Here they are. They see her. Says, "Oh look, she's alive." And if they were proper salvagers, that they said, she's alive. And said, "No, she ain't. Psh, dead. Blow her into space. Oh, look, we've got her some salvage." Maybe the shuttle's not worth much. I don't know, but anyway. Right, so she's been rescued, and then her face turns into the earth, and we're going to look at this is Gateway Station. I'm wondering if this is a painting. I'm not sure if it's a painting or a model. I don't know. Let's have a look. Let's see when it pans. I think it might just be a matte painting because it doesn't. There's no parallax with it. The reason I'm asking is because there's more stars there than there is over here. So I wonder if this. I don't know. But anyway, whatever. Did you see Alien Romulus? I liked it overall. I didn't hate it. I just didn't think it was that good, to be honest. But it exists. I can't say I hate it, but I can't say I really like it either. But anyway, it's there. Give it a watch anyway. Is that a dropship or something similar? Don't know. But anyway, right. So that's Gateway Station. Some people say this is as close to Earth as she gets in the whole franchise, unless you're watching the extended or alternative cut of Alien Resurrection, which she does get down to Earth. But some say this is as far as she gets. I'm not sure, to be honest. But anyway, right. So I presume you've watched this film. We're going to spoil the hell out of it, by the way. I presume you've watched it already, so you know what's going on. Because this is a dream sequence. Ripley has really vivid and realistic dreams. Because there'd have been, I don't know, pixies or an elephant had walked past. If it were one of my dreams. But anyway. So here she is, she's fine. This is some weird hospital that allows cats. Anyway, but and this Paul Reiser as Carter Burke with his weird quasi-futuristic collar. Or maybe he thinks he's the Fonz. I don't know, but anyway. Justice says you're a tough critic. It was better than Covenant. Well, yeah, but that's not hard, is it? Although I did quite like Prometheus, but the people in it were stupid. But Covenant, I can't stand Covenant. But yes, it was better than those two films. Paul Reiser as Carter Burke, who works for Wayland Yutani, trying to be, the nice guy, although we find out later he's a proper baddie. Anyway. So, this is where she learns that she's been in space for 57 years. I wonder what made James Cameron come up with that figure. I don't know. Maybe saw a tin of beans, Heinz beans on the side and thought, 57, that's a good number. But anyway. So she's been floating out in space for 57 years and she just happened to get picked up by a deep salvage team who were really honest and didn't just blow her out into space. But anyway, now she's going to start freaking out, giving it all that is Jonesy. I can't remember how they did it, how they got him to hiss. Did they get another cat or did they put a dog near him? One or the other. Anyway, and then the call. Oh dear, I've gone too far. The caller out, and I've always felt this bit is a bit iffy. This effect, it doesn't look real to me, but whatever. Don't listen to me. But I'd have said take two and hold your head back a bit. Or she needs a bit more space between her hands and her. It's all a bit weird, but. Anyway, there it comes, look. Ah, no! She's good now. It's not a chest burster, it's a stomach burster, isn't it? But never mind. She's had it, we're all a dream. But there she is on Gateway with Jonesy. And now she's... this is a scene that we're in the special edition, not in the theatrical, where she's in the woods. Amazing. How did she get... She must be on Earth. No, she's not. It's just on the screen. It's a VOO screen or whatever, I don't know. remember. I've read the book, and I can't. They probably called it something, but anyway. So this is where we're going to learn that she's got a daughter, or she did have a daughter. Carter Burt's going to tell her all about it. Amanda, there we go. Amanda Ripley McLaren, and of course we all know Amanda Ripley had an adventure with the xenomorphs. On I forgot what they call it now. In the game Alien Isolation, on another spaceship or a space station that weirdly looks exactly like not the Nostromo, but weirdly looks like the refinery that the Nostromo was towing. But anyway, whatever. Anyway, so we learned that she was married. I don't think she had any kids, and she died at 66. This is the year 2179. How did? I mean, maybe it was an accident. I don't know, but did life expectancies suddenly drop along with IQs? I don't know, but anyway. So there we go. This is dead. That's Sigourney Weaver's mother in real life. Date of birth, I think, is that? I'm not, or maybe not. I don't know. Deceased 23, 23rd, because you're American, so even in the future you still get your dates wrong with it. 23rd of December 20. I don't think so. It's 2179, isn't it now? I think they're getting the stuff mixed up. Don't pay any attention to it. But obviously, image enhancement hasn't improved much in 200 years, has it? Anyway, whatever. She's cremated and interred at Westlake Repository, Little Shoot. Ooh. Anyway, so she doesn't have a daughter anymore. I promised I'd be home for her birthday, her 11th birthday. You shouldn't have buggered off to wherever the hell you were going on the Nostromo, should you? She's a bad mother, in my opinion. But anyway. Right, so now we're in the hearing. I'm not sure, is this hearing, is it like an official government hearing, or is it a Weyland-Yutani hearing? I think it's a Weyland-Yutani hearing, isn't it? Anyway. Interesting information from the about the people, the crew of the Nostromo, about them there. And we learned that in one of the things, see if it appears, I don't know, it might be in the special features, what's the information that appears on those screens, but, I forgot a blooming name now. Veronica Cartwright's character, I forgot her name, were born male and were turned female, went under surgery to become female. So she was trans. Anyway, so she's told them, what happened. There were, an alien life form on the ship and killed the crew. So they blew the ship up, and they don't believe her. We found out the ship cost 42 million. 42 million in adjusted dollars. I guess in that space dollars. It doesn't sound a lot, does it? 42 million for a starship, essentially. But I say it's space dollars, so don't worry about it. But anyway, so they don't believe what happened. They don't believe that they found an alien, even though Weyland-Yutani sent them there. It's obviously a big cover-up. But anyway, so she's telling them that. Everybody's in danger, and you've got to go back to LV-426, and and all that stuff. The corporations are the governments, just like today. Just like today. Anyway, so there we go. They find her essentially guilty of gross negligence or whatever, and the stripper of her flight status, and says she's got to go for psychometric evaluation, and they're not going to file criminal charges. I think that's probably because they want to keep it internal, don't they, to the company. And if it got out into the courts of law, it might come out that the company did know about the aliens. That's what I'm thinking. Anyway, right, so there you go. So, and I'm not sure what they do with her now. Does she stay on Gateway Station? Does she go back to Earth? It's unclear. I've read the novelisation. I've got it somewhere. but it's like 40 years nearly since I read it, so I can't really remember. Anyway, that's Paul Maxwell, by the way, as Van Leeuwen. As I said, he were in The Haunting as Eleanor's brother-in-law. Yeah, brother-in-law. Anyway, yes, they knew she was innocent. That's what I'm thinking. So it's a cover-up. Saying that though, is it a cover-up or is it something that happened? Because remember, this is 57 years later, so maybe it's got hidden in the company's vast data banks, about it. But anyway, I don't know. But they're just erring on they're just being cautious, and they don't want, just in case the company was involved, they don't want word to get out. That's what I'm thinking. But anyway. So it's where we're learning that she's saying you've got to go back there to LV426 and sort it all out. Says we don't have to. We've got people there. They've been there for 25 years. Terraformers. And there's loads of families there. Families. Oh no, Jeebus, she says. LV426. As we know from the first film, we learned that it's at Zeta 2 Reticuli, which is a real star 39 light years away. A sun-like star-ish, sunish-like. I'm not sure if they've discovered any planets round it. Let's check. Zeta 2 Reticuli. Have I spelt it right? There we go. Reticuli. Does it have planets? Zeta Reticuli. It's a double star, 39.3 light years away. Have they discovered any planets? Exoplanets. It's got a debris disk. No known planets. It's got no known planets, but it does have a debris disk, apparently. Well, there we go. Wingrace says they should stay away from that place and head off to either Wolf 359 or the SETI Alpha Star system. Yes, or Cestus 3. Shouldn't they? Yes. Well, Romulus happened a while after Alien, so they know, but we're trying just to let it go, I guess. Well, yeah. Or something. Like I said, they want to keep it in the company, don't they? Anywho, right, so next up, alright, this is another bit that's been added to the special edition, wasn't in the theatrical version, and I think this hurts James Cameron to remove this bit. There's two bits that hurt him to remove, and I think one was this, the other was the what they call sentry gun sequence. But anyway, here we go. Does it? Oh, it does say it. It does say it. You can just make it out. It does make it out there. In my audio commentary, you can only just make it out there. Can I up the brightness a bit? Is there a way? I don't know how to do it. But I was saying, I'm sure on this sign here for Hadley's Hope, it says like "Welcome to Hell," and I think it does it. You just make it out there, okay? I think. Just bear with me. I'm gonna see if I can. We'll do a print screen. Just bear with me. Right. Oh. Just bear with me. I'm just going to remove that for a moment. I'm just going to see if I can see what it says on that sign. For some reason it's really dark. I don't know why. Oh no, it just says have a nice day. It just says have a nice day. I will show you in me Paint Shop Pro. There we go. It says have a nice day. I thought it said something like welcome to hell or something like that. Have I seen that in another film? I'm not sure. Maybe I'm thinking of a different film. Anyways, Hadley's Hope. There we go. Back on the thing again. James Cameron named LV426. He named it Acheron, or Acheron. I think it's Acheron, isn't it? And he says that's kind of a name that maybe one of the colonists gave it. The official name is LV426, but one of the colonists called it Acheron because it's from Dante's Inferno and it refers to one of the levels of hell or something. But I'm sure it said something like Welcome to Hell. I'm thinking of a different film. I'm thinking of Star Trek 5 and Paradise City on Nimbus 3. I don't know. Just Temple's here. Yay! Don't worry about it, mate. Don't worry about it. There are other movies that say Welcome to Hell. I'm sure there are. I thought it was this one. I thought the comic had the welcome. Maybe it has, but I don't think I've seen that. Or maybe I have and forgotten. I don't know. But anyway. Right, so anyway, we're here at Hadley's Hope. Population 158. That's minus xenomorphs, of course. And here we go. Some cool miniatures and force perspectives. I love cool models and stuff. I love the effects in this film. I said loads of, well, they're all practical effects before the days of CGI, you know, like we have today. So they're all models and force perspective and rear projection and matte paintings and stuff like that, and it's all really well done, like that vehicle. Again, I think there's another force perspective because it drives by. It's obviously a model. It drives by, but there's somebody there struggling with something else. So cool stuff. I think Nimbus 3 says Paradise Lost. Yes, I think it does, doesn't it? Yes, it does. Now you mention it. Well, which film says Welcome to Hell on the sign? Answers on a postcard. Anyway, right, so here we're going to get a quick view, a quick tour of the facility. I hope you're taking notes. I can't remember his name, but he was the captain of the Red Dwarf, wasn't he? I don't think Silent Hill. I don't think it said that on Silent Hill, but it might have done. But I can't remember. Anyway, right. So here we're learning that a family of prospectors have asked to go and check out an area somewhere out in the boondocks, and there you go. It says he's onto something. So obviously, spoilers. This is the Jordan family. And they've what's his face? Burke's obviously been in touch with them and told them, give them the coordinates based on Ripley's information. Unless he went digging in the Weyland-Yutani archives or whatever, found out about the derelict ship, gave them the coordinates and sent them off to investigate. But anyway, we're seeing it's a hive of activity is this colony, and everybody seems reasonably happy. There's kids there and stuff, and they all seem pretty okay. Fun and games. It's not an easy life, but it's they're doing cool stuff basically. And there you go, Weyland-Yutani building better worlds, which we see in the latest trailer thing for Alien Earth, don't we? I think it's an Alien Earth. Yes, it is. We see that logo, don't we? Right, so here we go. Another one of these, whatever they are. What can we call them? I don't know. It's like a Winnebago, isn't it? And I say in my audio commentary, I say this for some reason this reminds me of Splinter of the Mind's Eye, the first expanded universe or extended universe Star Wars book by Alan Dean Foster. Which, if Star Wars wasn't super successful, would have been the sequel movie, but it wasn't. And in that, on the planet Mimban, they're driving about in a thing that reminds me of this, and I want one. Oh, hell, something. Yeah. Anyway, right, so here we are. This is the Jordan family heading out. There they are. Don't ask me their names. That's Rebecca Jordan, Newt, and her brother Timmy, who's played by Carrie Henn's brother, whose name is, I'll tell you in a minute. and I go to all cast and crew. It's called something Hen as well, because it's a brother. Where are we? Oh, has it not got a bloody credit? Shirley has got a credit. Carrie Henner's Newt, and her brother Timmy Jones. No, he ain't got a bloody credit. Not on IMDb, and anyway. Oh yes, he has. Christopher Hen. There we go. Newt's brother, uncredited. And the mother and father don't get names. Newt's father, Newt's mother, Newt's brother. But we do learn it's called Timmy. So, IMDb, you're crap. Anyway. Back to the Future's Hill Valley sign in the crappy future. Yeah, maybe that one as well. I don't know. Justin says, the early comics were very good. Check them out sometime. I won't. I'm not going to say I might do it. I won't. I'll forget about it. You know what I'm like. Anyway, right. So here we're going to arrive. They've arrived at the derelict now. The special effects people, headed by I forgot the call. Shostak doesn't sound right. I think it's Shostak. Hang on, where are we? Effects. I'm going to burp. Oh, pardon me. Where are we? Visual effects, special effects, visual effects. There we go. Skotak, that's it. Headed by the Skotak brothers, Dennis and Robert. Do they wear wigs? I'm going to find a picture of them. I've seen them in a couple of documentaries. Really cool effects guys. But in both of them, they've got really weird hair. I'm sorry, but it looks like a wig. It might not be, I don't know. But both of them, both the brothers look the same. There we go. Open a new tab. This is Dennis Skotak. I'm sorry the size of the picture. Yeah, that's a wig. I don't know. It might not be. But it looks a bit odd. Just be bald, mate. Just be bald. I misread that as Tim Allen Comics. They probably are Tim Allen Comics. I bet they are. Well, there'll be Buzz Lightyear comics, won't there? But anyway. Right, so, I forgot what I was saying now. Oh, yes, the Skotak brothers. They found the original derelict model that we used in the first Alien film. Apparently, it wasn't in the best condition. So they built another one, and this is the new one that they built, not the original. I don't think H.R. Giger had anything to do with this film. I don't think they consulted him or anything like that. But anyway, never mind. So right here they arrive. We don't see the big lady part shaped entrances in this. They get in through. Just a rupture in the hull. But anyway, never mind. Right, so out they go. Tell the kids to stay there. And off they go. Obviously, the planet has been terraformed, so now the air is breathable. Remember in the first film they had space suits on and all that stuff. But and all that. But anyway, Justin says, not trying to bring anyone down. This movie is special to me. Helped me get through my early chemo treatments. Watched it so many times. Really helped get my mind off the sickness. I'm very blessed. Yeah, it is an amazing film, and it's even more amazing now because it has healing properties. It has. I'd forgot how good it was, to be honest. And I watched it earlier on today when I did my audio commentary and that. I'd actually forgotten how good it was, and that's why I was saying earlier on, I think just before you arrived, it might have to go in my top 10. It might be in my top 10 already. I've forgotten what I've got in my top 10. I might have to readjust that. And that's why Wingrace mentioned Point Break. Anyway. Because he's a card, is Wingrace. Anyway, right. So, as I said, the atmosphere is now breathable, but it's still a bit inhospitable, but habitable. I suppose it'd be M class, wouldn't it, if it was Star Trek? Right, so when they go there, they're going through some rupture in the side of the ship, not through the big lady part looking bits. And then we go, and then there's a passage of time. There we go. We just see a view of the landscape. Don't know how long they're gone for, but the kids are obviously, well, Newt is getting concerned. Tim is having a nap. And then suddenly, they've been gone a long time. We don't exactly know how long, but then they're back. Oh no, he's got a face hugger on his fizzog. She's calling for help, and then Newt screams. We get a cool shot though of the face hugger as it tightens its tail around his neck. And then Newt screams. Her screams mixing with the howling of the wind and all that stuff. And then we cut to silence as Ripley's smoking a cigarette. Well, not really, but she's got a cigarette. Can you make out what sort it is? I don't know. But it's obviously smoking still a thing in the 22nd century. But here she is having a sit. And is she still on Gate? I think she's still on Gateway Station, but we're not told that. She could be back on Earth for all I know, but I don't know. If she's lost her flight status, you'd think they'd ship her back to Earth, get her on the ground, wouldn't you? Not on a space station, but I don't know. But anyway, so here comes Carter Burke and Lieutenant Gorman of the Colonial Marines, of the US Colonial Marines. Are there be British soldiers in space then in the 22nd century? Don't know. Is it a united Earth in Aliens, or have we still got different countries? Don't know. Anyway, Justin says, it sucks you into the world and it's just fun, plus the people are so memorable and real feeling. Yes, it is an amazing, it's one of the best films ever made. It is astonishingly good. Despite all the problems they had in production, the British crew didn't get on with James Cameron, did they? Oh, Gail Ann Hurd. She was like an ice queen, wasn't she? And James Cameron basically knew everybody's jobs probably better than they did, and I think they resented it a bit, didn't they? He could do everything. He was like an auteur, if I'm pronouncing that right, filmmaker, and he was used to doing everything himself, and he didn't like it when the other technicians, cameramen, etc., didn't do or said they couldn't do what he wanted, and then he could do it. And there's loads of footage of him saying, do this, and I did this in like 5 minutes. Why couldn't you work it out? There's loads of footage of him doing stuff like that, telling them what to do. Because he's a bleeding genius, and he makes me sick. But anyway. Right, so they knock on the door. And she doesn't want to talk to him. She slams the door in his face, and then he says, they've lost contact with the colony on LV-426. Now, how much time has passed? Because we learned before that it takes them a week to get a reply. Is it a week or 2 weeks? I can't remember what it says. I have to go back now. Bear with me. Right, here we go. Go look at grid graph. Don't ask to say why. 2 weeks. That's it. 2 weeks to get an answer. So that's a week there and a week back. So I'm guessing, is that just because of corporate bureaucracy, or is it because they're that far away and it takes a week to send a message back to Earth in subspace? Because it must be, because it can't be. They must have some faster than light communication. Because it's 40 light years away nearly, and then a week to get a message back. So how fast are the ships that get there? We learned in the first film, which is set 57 years before this, that the Nostromo was 6 months away from Earth. So that was 6 months. I'm guessing drive systems have improved in 57 years, so it might be faster. Might just take maybe a couple of months or a few weeks. I don't know. 17 days is mentioned later on in the film, but that's just something that might just be, the cluster's overdue, but there'll be some time after that for a ship to get out, their rescue party to get out. I don't know, but anyway. Just as James can be a little bit of a punk and come off condescending. Yes, he's not the best people person, is he? Although he's been married 8 million times, but That's it. It's because he knows everybody's jobs and he doesn't suffer fools and all that stuff, and he kind of rubs people the wrong way, doesn't he? So, but I must say I'm a fan. Has he made a bad film? I don't think he has. Um, I've not seen Piranha 2, but that wasn't really his film, was it? He directed it, but it was taken away from him, wasn't it? Anywho, Ed Harris didn't put up with James's. No, he didn't. On The Abyss. Anyway. Right, so they're asking her to go back out there with a group of Marines as an observer. And so she said, I'm not going. No, I'm not going back out there. Bloody hell, what are you playing at? Man, me. But she tells them no. It's where we learn she's working in the cargo docks. As I said, on Earth, maybe, don't know, or on the Gateway Station, don't know. She's got on the moon for all I know. But anyway, and we learn somehow he got to look at her psychiatric evaluation. So he can access her medical records, it seems. So we learn that she's having nightmares and all that stuff. But she says no. She sends him away, and he leaves his card, and goes. So then we learn she's had another nightmare. There goes. She's clutching her chest. I'm a fan also. Avatar Part 2 is bad. I really liked Avatar Part 2. I've got it on 4K over there. I thought it was pretty good. Not as good as the first one. I love the first Avatar film, But yeah, it's just Fern Gully and Pocahontas, but whatever. But I like the second one. That's it. I don't think he's made a bad film. Right, where were we? So she's fed up. Anyway, right, so she goes into her bathroom, which is an airplane, whatever, 747, whatever, bathroom that they've used. And she uses the card, and phones him up in the middle of the night. Not sure what time it is. They've got two clocks, one for space time and one for Earth time. I've no idea. But she says, you're going to wipe them out. You're not going to study them and bring them back. You're going to destroy them. He says, that's the plan, although we know it's not. So he says, all right, I'm in. Right. Oh, and then she says to Jonesy, you're staying here. I'm guessing she either puts it in a cattery or whatever, a cat hotel, or she's got a neighbour, or she just leaves it with loads of open tins of Felix. And she'll come back. Well, she never comes back, does she? There's just Jonesy's skeletons there in her apartment at some point. Wingray says, I never watched the new Avatar. It's a good film. It is a good film. I think it is. It's almost the same exact film. I'm sorry. Well, it's variations on the theme, isn't it? But it continues the story. We see different Navi, don't we? And it's basically set in the sea, isn't it? The first one was in the forest. The second one's in the sea. The next one's going to be to do with, I don't know, is it like volcanoes or something? Something to do with fire, isn't it? But anyway, whatever. We're not talking about Avatar. Right, here comes the Sulaco. So I'm guessing another passage of time. How much? Don't know. I don't think it'll be 6 months, will it? As I said, the first film, the Nostromo, was 6 months away. I'm guessing the Sulaco's a bit quicker than the Nostromo. But here it is, the Sulaco. Designed by... I forgot the bloody name again. Ron Cobb, I think. I think it was Ron Cobb. At first he designed the ship, the Sulaco's been... a big round part of it, kind of a bit like a Daedalus class starship from Star Trek, with a big round bit at the end, at the front. But they thought, no, that'll look rubbish. And James Cameron said he wanted it to look like a rifle, sort of. So that's why it kind of looks like a rifle, with sticky outy bits on. It's described as a cargo carrier with guns on. So anyway, here it is. And then we get a tour of the ship. It's reminiscent of the opening of Alien, the journey through the ship. Obviously, that's obviously the armory, isn't it? Lots of, I forgot what they call them. The M41. I can't remember. Some missiles there. They're the nukes that they would use from orbit, I guess. I wonder why no one has an Icarus class ship. What's an Icarus class? I know the name rings a bell. All I can think of is Babylon 5. That was the Icarus, wasn't it? I'm obviously you're probably not thinking of that. Anyway, there's a loader, and there's the drop ship. One of them. They've got two, haven't they? They've got two drop ships. And then, for some reason, this franchise is obsessed with executive toys, and I don't know why. It was done well, but it was the same film. Just let it go, Justin. Just let it go. This franchise is obsessed with executive toys. The first one had the dipping bird thing in it. This one's got them. Anyway, so this is the mess hall, isn't it? I think because we see vending machines there. They are actually old vending machines that they found. The set design is Peter. Oh, I forgot. Peter Lamont, or the production designer, who's probably most famous for doing James Bond films. Our executive toys from 50 Shades of Grey. I wouldn't have never seen it or read the book. Dakota Johnson, is she an executive toy? No relation, as far as I know. Where were we? Peter Lamont, the production designer, came off the James Bond films to do this, and did a really good job because they basically scavenged. Let's say they used like old vending machines and just aircraft parts, and as I said, bits from old aeroplanes, like the toilet part that were in Ripley's apartment, and just stuff like that. Old fridges, and even one part that we'll see in a minute that's helicopter engines. Obviously not using them as helicopter engines. Anyway, so we're having a journey through the ship. Here we are. Here's these parts. See, they're from helicopter engines. There they are, behind there. Helicopter engines. I wonder if he got that idea for the helicopters on Avatar. I'm doing that. Anyway, so here we go. Again, famously, I think they only have 4 of these. I think it's 4, or maybe 5. I don't know. But they didn't have many of these. They didn't have the money to make lots of these. What do you call them? Stasis chambers. What do you want to call them? Sleep capsules. So they put big mirrors on either side of the set to make it look as though it's stretched off into infinities. And at one point you can see 2 of one of the actors. I think it's Vasquez, but I'm not sure. I've never noticed it. But anyway. It's very Spartan, pretty cool looking set. All the sets, I think, look amazing. The ship and the colony, I think they look amazing. They look functional. Look as though it's somewhere that would actually work, such as this. They've got all wires and pipes and stuff, and it looks as though it's there for a reason. But anyway, right. So we're going to see the screen now. I think in the book, the novelisation, was it written by Alan Dean Foster? I think it was. Unless I said I've got it somewhere, but I think in the book it said that Bishop wanting hypersleep because he's an android, and he was there to basically monitor him and keep the ship running. But we're learning this is in hypersleep. I think that's just to keep the audience from knowing that he's an android, because as we'll see, his name pops up on this screen. Here we go. Then we're getting introduced to the names. There we go. Bishop L. So he's got a first name as well. I wonder what his first name is. I wonder what L's. Lance. It's Lance Henriksen, isn't it? But anyway. And then Ripley's down at the bottom. E. Ripley, because we don't know her first name yet, do we? But we know her first initial, if you pause it there. Anyway, so all the things come up. There we go. See if we can spot what there's 2 of. Right, so anyway, so we're Gorman, Apone, Vasquez, Hicks. Looks like Ripley's there, and there's Drake beyond her. So they must have 6 of them then, mustn't they? So I don't know. She's looking very nice. Sorry. And there's Drake. Mark Rolston, who you may know, who Windgrace knows from Star Trek, The Next Generation. And that's Dietrich behind him, saying, "Not enough to have to wake up to your face, Drake," because he says something like, "The penis enough for this man." It's filmed in the UK, obviously, and not obviously, but it was filmed in the UK. But they had to find lots of American actors. They went through the North American Registry for Equity, which is the British version of Screen Actors Guild. So they found like American actors or British actors that could do American accents and stuff like that. And just a few, because when you film in a country, usually the rules are you've got to have so many actors from that country. So they had to get people that were living in the UK at the time. There's the late, great Bill Paxton as Hudson. Anyway. Should have had Keanu come in and do his accent again. Yes, they should have done. Well, no, because they're not doing a British accents, are they? Yes, I know it's the reverse. I know where the Queen has her lair. That's what they'd say, wouldn't it? Anywho, here we go. There's Al Matthews as Apone, the Sarge, and I think it was Al Matthews that most of the squad. I think Al Matthews, who was a former soldier in real life, put them through training, and to get them to tighten up as a team. So put them through boot camp. Except for Michael Bean, because originally it was supposed to be I can never remember his bloody name. James Remar, wasn't it? It was supposed to be James Remar that played Hicks, but I think he had problems with drugs or alcohol. I'm not sure which, but anyway, so he had to pull out. And in my audio commentary, I was saying I'm sure there was another film. Hang on, let me check. Probably wrong. No, hang on. Oh no, it wasn't. I was thinking for some reason James Remar was originally cast as Aragorn, but he wasn't. Why were I thinking that? Another Mandela effect. It was Stuart Townsend that originally cast as Aragorn. Oh right, fair enough. Anywho. Right, where were we? Right, so look into my eye. We didn't see which the two of, there were supposed to be two of the same actor, weren't there? Unless they've gone in and digitally altered it, because it's a special edition. I don't know. I'm trying to see. There's a Drake down there. Oh no, but we saw these. These are the front ones, aren't they? I don't bloody know. Anyway, so like I said, life in the cars, like a day on the farm, whatever. But anyway, right. So here we go. They're all getting ready. Don't ask me who this fella is. Wisbowski? I don't know. Crow? I have no idea. There's a couple of them that I'm not sure who they are. Was it supposed to be Wolverine before Hugh? Maybe it's that. Maybe it is that. I don't know. Let me check. No, it was. I'll check again though. It was. What's his face? All right, James Remar portrayed a US general in X-Men First Class. It says there. I can't remember his name. He's a Scottish actor who were going to be, but he decided to do something else or something. He had a conflict, didn't he? And he couldn't do it. It's on tip of my tongue. It'll come to me. Hang on. Have a look. See what it says. Doug Ray Scott, that's the one. Dougray Scott. He had to drop out. Yes, Dougray Scott was the original Wolverine. Anyway, right, where were we? Crow, Wisbowski. So they're going to getting their clothes on. There's Vasquez, played by the lovely Jeanette Goldstein, who was very pale apparently. She was like a weightlifter and stuff, so she had the muscles, but she was very pale. She's supposed to play a Latino character, Vasquez. Jeanette Goldstein's not a Latino actress, so that cover her in, make her up to make her olive skinned. She had to wear brown contact lenses as well. And she's a lot shorter than the fella that designed the smart gun. We'll get to that. Expected. Anyways, this is the... Hey, Vasquez, you ever been mistaken for a man? No, have you? Vasquez, too bad. Now, are Drake and Vasquez in a relationship, or is it mutual respect? I don't know, but anyway. Right, so here they are, dumbass colonists, talking about that Arcturian poontang. The one you had was male. Does it matter if it's Arcturian, baby? So, right, in my commentary, I was wondering how many worlds of the discovery, over 300 surveyed worlds, how many civilizations has humanity been in contact with? Because there's a suggestion here that obviously on Arcturus, however you pronounce it, there's some sort of civilization there that has poontang, and it doesn't matter, which version you have, which gender, because they're Arcturian. So are they allies of Earth? Did Earth conquer Arcturus? I don't know. I want to know, is there an extended canon information about all this? Anyway, so they're all having fun and games and laughing. And this is where we're going to find out that Bishop is an android, because they say, do the thing with the knife, Bishop. And he practiced and practiced, did Lance Henriksen. Nicked his fingers a lot. And I think he did catch... what's his face? Bill Plankton, as we used to call him, Bill Paxton. But you'd think they wouldn't give him a sharp knife, but whatever. So here they do this thing, and there we go. And he says, "Trust me." So obviously they speed it up, but Al Matthews didn't get the memo to not move his head quickly. Here we go. I'll show it in a minute. Here, watch. Didn't get the memo to be still. In a minute. In a minute. Because he's like going... Oh, silly man. Anyway, never mind. The Red Dead game, yes. There's a 5-fingered... I can't remember what they call it. I couldn't do it. Thankfully, you don't have to do it. And let's make sure we're still going, by the way. Let's make sure we're still going. Why is that not playing? Oh, there we go. Yes, we're still going. Right. So they do that. All fun and games, but he nicks his own finger. There's Bishop. L. Bishop. And I thought you never missed. Bishop. Oh, that's where we learn that we've got a new lieutenant. What happened to their old lieutenant? Dunno. Did the company pull influence or whatever, over the colonial marines to get a green lieutenant sent? I don't know, but he's not sitting with the men. He's not fraternising with the men. But anyway, so there we go. We learn that Bishop's an android, because as you can see, there you go. He's got some of his Bishop. His android blood, or whatever. Oh, you can't see it behind me. Never mind. Just make it out there. There it is. On his hand. And obviously she freaks out because of her experience with Ash in the first film. Bishop's not Ash. He's a different model. I don't know what model he is. He's not a Hyperdyne Systems Model 120A2. And Bishop says the A2s always were a bit twitchy. I think more than a bit twitchy, mate. But and they've got a great face, hasn't he, Lance Henriksen? Look at it, it's amazing. I met him as well at a convention. He was a bit grumpy. I suppose the long days, maybe it had been a long day and he was a bit tired and fed up, I don't know. But anyway, he was fine. Anyway, but she doesn't want anything to do with him and tells him to, bog off. And right, so now it's time for the briefing. It's time for the briefing. Here they go. They're all gathering in the hangar. We learn that he's not used to, he hasn't learned all of their names. He gets Hudson and Hicks mixed up. It's a little clue that, he's not the right man for the job. But anyway, so Ripley tells them that what's going on. Oh, they mentions, that they've lost all the knows that they've lost contact with the colony on LV-426, and that a xenomorph may be involved. And Frost says, "Excuse me, sir, what? A xenomorph?" And then they says it's a bug hunt. But obviously, they must do a lot of bug hunts because there we go. On the side of the dropship, there's a little picture there, sticker, whatever, that says "Bug Stomper. We endanger species," and it's got a picture of a screaming eagle with a machine gun with big boots on. We get a closer look at it later when they're setting off. That was designed by Ron Cobb, and he says you can't see it in the film. You can a little bit. Anyway, right, so she tells them what happened, that, they went down, found the eggs, and something came out, attached itself to Kane, then it came off, he seemed fine, and then something came out of his chest, and Vasquez says, "I just need to know one thing, where they are." "You're too bad, Vasquez." And then Hudson says, does a quip about illegal aliens, which is kind of topical. And so it's all, banter and stuff. And she says, "I hope you're right, I really do. Because if just one of those things wiped out her crew in 24 hours, then there's no knowing how many of the colonists have been exposed." Anyway, then Hudson wants to know, there you go, one of the best lines.
"How do I get out of this chicken shit outfit?"
He's ace, isn't he? He's ace. Right, so he wants DCX and tactical database simulation by 0830. Weapons strip and dropship prep details will have 8 hours. I can't bloody remember it. Ordnance loading there, we always make that bit. So move it, people, assholes and elbows. And Hudson's gonna get into trouble again. He's always getting into trouble, is Hudson. But luckily he's short. He's only got 4 more weeks and he's out. Right, so they're arriving at LV-426. Do we ever see the planet? Because it's a moon, isn't it, orbiting a gas giant that's got rings. Do we ever see it in this film? I don't think we do we? Let's just see it in the next shot. But anyway, right. So they're getting the ship ready, and there we see the loader. Cool stuff. Gear porn, innit? It's what fellas like to see. Equipment and buttons and stuff doing things. That's what we want. There it is, look. No, it's not real. A lot of people thought they were real. It's held up on wires and stuff like that, and it's it's all like foam and stuff, and it's not super heavy. Particularly the one that we see Ripley operating. There's 2 people in it, isn't there? There's somebody there, and then there's somebody behind them as well. But and some of them are stop motion that we see. But she's a 5th wheel, and obviously hover cars haven't been invented yet. She's a 5th wheel, so anything she can do. I don't know, is anything you can do with his. I don't know, is anything you can do with his stogie. Says, well, I can operate that loader. I can drive that loader. It's not operate, she drives it. So help yourself. So this is cool. That's loads of stuff clicking into place and catchers and buttons and and all that stuff, because that's what the fellas want in it. And there we go, all that stuff, hydraulics, and there we go, and off she goes. She turns it round, and I think we're seeing two Ripleys here. Hang on, let's go back. Showers. Must be before. Here we go. I think that's Ripley. I think it's that one behind is a stop motion model, and I think it's one with Ripley in it. So we're seeing two Ripleys here. There we go. There's Ripley with that in that one, Ripley in the one behind. I think that's what happened. Anyway, so B12, please. Right, so they're getting ready. They can hear the drums are playing now because they're getting ready. Listening, the drums are going. In a minute. There we go. They're all getting ready to head down and stomp some bugs. You notice that Vasquez's smart gun she's not on. She hasn't got the harness on. He's got his on. Look, you know, it's a Steadicam harness essentially, isn't it? But she hasn't got hers on. It's on the end of the table there. I think that might be because the fellow that designed the smart gun, and I think all the weapons in the film, he didn't know that she was going to be so small. I think she's described in the script as quite a big muscly woman, and he thought she'd be a lot taller. And I think she's like 5'2" or something like that. She's tiny compared to all the others. So he had to I think he had to redesign her harness. And maybe he hadn't got it done by the time they did this scene. I don't know. So hers is on the end of the table. Do we get a better shot? There you go. You can see it there. But anyway. Right, so there's Ferro. Met her at a convention as well. Got a photo with her. Oh, we can see the... how does it show it here? There we go. See there, Bug Stomper. Bug Stomper. We endanger species. And it's firing a gun and all the shells are coming out with its big boots on. Corporal Ferro. Private First Class. Spunkmeyer. Cool name. See there, getting ready in the dropship. It looks cool. It's based on, I don't know, Apache helicopters. I don't know what it's based on. Looks a bit like is it an A-10 tank bus? Looks a bit like one of them as well, doesn't it? I don't know. I'm not into planes. I could point out Concorde, and that's probably about it. And all the landing gears from aircraft that they went to like aircraft breakers yards and stuff like that and found all this gear. I think these skids are off of Canberra. I think Peter Lamont said they think they're off a Canberra bomber, which is a British aeroplane. Anyway, right, so here comes the APC, built around an airport towing vehicle that used to tow the planes about at the airport. Based on that, they bought an old one. They're replacing them at Heathrow. So they bought one of them and found out it weighed 75 tons. And they stripped out 40 tons of lead. So, really healthy. So that means it still weighed like 35 tons. But anyway. So they did all that. Obviously added all this stuff to it and guns and stuff. It's a pity we never see these guns firing. I wish we did, but we don't. This is a shame. You'd thought he'd have written something in, wouldn't you? But Anyway, here it comes. It arrives, and they're all getting ready and putting their gear on. Are you mean? Are you lean? What are you? Anyway. Right, so they're getting ready. They're all going to pile into the APC, but obviously they don't all pile in because there's only like room for 3 people inside it. When it shows them get in, here we go. We're on a different set now. The APC is the TARDIS. It's bigger on the inside than the outside. Don't worry about it. Wonder if that's still around somewhere. Pretty cool. The APC. I don't know. It probably is. I bet it is. Let's have a look. Aliens, APC. Where is it now? Right, the full-sized armoured personnel carrier, APC, from the movie Aliens, was built using an air towing tractor, the Hunslet ATT 77. All right, and it unfortunately does not exist today. All right, I wonder what they did with it then. Does it say? Does it say? But I don't say what they did with it. The original APC was a screen-accurate recreation built from a Hunslet ATT 77 air towing tractor. Blah blah blah. So whatever happened to the APC from Aliens? I'm asking. Oh, eh? Oh no. I thought about in the film. No, I don't say. I don't know. People don't seem to know that it was probably just disassembled and sold for scrap, which is poo, innit? Yeah, I think it was just scrapped, which is rubbish. Anyway, right. So they're all getting ready. They're all getting ready to head down. Oh, we see that Bishop drives the APC. I forgot to mention, Bishop obviously is part of the squad, isn't he? Because, they obviously know him, don't they? They do the knife thing and all that, and so he's part of the squad, so that's probably why he's driving the APC. You'd think he'd stay up with the ship, though, wouldn't you? He's the one that looks after the Sulaco. He's in the book, anyway. Anyway, whatever. They need him down there. So off they go, the drums go and all that stuff, it's all cool. That's it, it's all cool, and stuff happening, doors opening, and hatches, and hydraulics, and all that stuff. It's what the fellas like. They're getting ready. Drop station secured, the hatch, the Bombay doors, or whatever, swing open. There we see the LV-426 below. I'm guessing that it's some sort of thrusters or something that push it away from the Sulaco. Anyway, so here we go. They're getting ready. 3, 2, 1, mark. Down they go. Just like Katy Perry. Down they go. Into the atmosphere. Some kind of. Right, so cool displays. Cotton wool clouds. You know what? I thought they just sent a plane up or something and just filmed some clouds. No, they're like well, I don't know if it's cotton wool, but it's something that looks like cotton wool. It's a miniature, essentially. A lit miniature. We see it again later when the thing blows up at the end. But yeah, cotton wool clouds. Amazing. Right, but they're in the pipe 5x5, whatever that means. And they're picking up some chop, etc. We learn that Gorman's not very experienced. He's done 38 simulated drops, but only 2, including this one, combat one. So he's been in action once before. Anyway, this thing here. This reminds me of Escape from New York. See, it's obviously a terrain thing, contour lines in it on the terrain. I thought, I bet James Cameron had the idea for that from Escape from New York, because he did the city, the New York, the visual effects in Escape from New York. He did the computer display that showed the city as like the buildings as like with glow like that, with glowing lines round them, as though like a computer display, but they were actually like cardboard boxes and stuff with glow in the dark tape around them. And I bet that's what they've probably done here, haven't they? For this. But anyway, so they're going to... before that, though, we're going to have... there we go, we're going to have Hudson's little speech about them being ultimate badasses. Again, which were cut from the theatrical version. And tells them the weapons they've got. There we go, independently targeting particle beam phalanx. Phased plasma rifles. They call it, I think, phased plasma pulse rifles or something, which is what Arnie asked for, didn't he, in Terminator? A phased plasma rifle in the 40-watt range. But what else? It says it here. Look, tactical smart missiles. There we go. Phased plasma pulse rifles, RPGs, and what's the other one? Sonic electronic ball breakers, whatever they are. But he's proud of the equipment, not that it does any of them any good, really. But anyway, here we come. Here they're arriving at the colony. There's the atmosphere processor. Remarkable piece of machinery, by the way. And here's the colony. Obviously all model work, cool stuff, really good. And they still got power. My favourite shot of the film coming up. I love this shot, not this one. The bit in any minute now. Any minute now. That bit, this shot, that shot is my favourite shot of the film. I don't know why I really like it. The APC's driving away and the dropship takes off again behind. I just think it looks amazingly cool. I just think it does. So there. Right, so they've arrived. They're going to penetrate the colony. There he is with his macro binoculars, and in they go. In they go. Hudson's the tech guy, so he's got to run a bypass. Hudson, run a bypass. So off they go. So they're in. In they go. And even though they're inside, it's still raining inside, you see, in some places. There must be holes in the roof. But anyway. So there's obviously been some sort of battle inside, because we learn that, you know, there's some charges have been set off. So the colonists have been trying to fight something off and failed miserably. By the way, the colony were filmed at Acton Power Station in London, a disused power station. So that's where the colony, I think most of the colony sets are there. I think some of them are at Pinewood, but some of them are at Acton Power Station. I don't think it's there anymore. Probably demolished. Anyway, and these what do you call them now? Motion sensors, the motion trackers. That's it. Based on the same technology that Ash used in the first film. Don't know, but they're cool. Right, so they're going in and checking out stuff. We see some hamsters. Don't know who's been feeding them, but they're fine. Because, as I said, how long has it been? It's been longer than 17 days, because they say later on that Newt's been there. She's survived for longer than that, and with no training and that, and no weapons. So they've been longer than 17 days to get there. So somebody's been feeding them hamsters. We'll see in a minute. There they are. So maybe Newt's been feeding them. I don't know. Maybe the aliens have. Who knows? Somebody left a donut. It's a waste, isn't it? Right, so, now somebody bagged one of Ripley's bad guys here. Acid for blood. So there we go. Right, so Gorman said, whatever happened here is long gone. It's over. So Gorman says the area's secured and they're going in. And she's like, it's not secured. Yes, it is, says Gorman. He's a pendejo jerk-off, according to Vasquez. So in they go. Now, is this a model, or is this the actual APC? I don't know. This is the actual APC. The models are that good. I didn't know if that was the actual APC or a model. I don't know. So it's going. I'd be like, I want to stay in here. I want to stay in the armoured personnel carrier. I don't need to go in. I'm an observer. Talk to me over the radio. No, she's going in. Right, so in they go. And pardon me. They've got to try and get to the operations thing. Here they are. This is some sort of lab. I think it's med lab. I think all these are supposed to be fridges, I think. I'm not sure. I think they are. I'm judging by the backs, because they look like fridges, don't they, on the back? So if it's some sort of med lab, and this is where they find the face huggers in some kind of tube. And the first, I don't know, is it the first jump scare of the film? It's one of the main jump scares. Here it is.
Careful, Burke.
Did it make you jump? There it is, looking very, yeah. There it is, but I think 2 are alive, the rest are dead. I think that's what he says. Looks like love at first sight to me. Oh, he likes you, Burke. There were 2 are alive, rest are dead. We'll get to the alive ones later and have questions about it. But anyway, so the fact that they couldn't get them off once they were on, they couldn't take it off without killing the host, I suppose you could say, the victim. Anyway, suddenly there's another signal. Ooh, beep, beep, beep. So they've got to go check that out. So here we go, and this turns out to be Newt, and luckily, Drake doesn't blow her away into nothingness. But if Hicks hadn't done that, knocked Drake's smart gun out of the way, Newt would be a red stain on the wall. But anyway, so here we go. There's Newt, Rebecca Jordan. We're the good guys. Come here, little basket. Anyway, so she goes after her. She goes running off because she's the best at hide and seek, is Newt. And anyway, so she grabs Newt, but Newt struggles and all that stuff. There you go. Find out her name, Rebecca Jordan, and now they're in operations. Borderline malnutrition and brain lock, or whatever he says. Dietrich, obviously, is the medic. But now Ripley's going to throw some hot chocolate in her face. Because she's a bad mother. But anyway, and she won't talk to him. So he's a little hot chocolate. So first she scalds her mouth. And then she starts... Is she dipping the cloth in the hot chocolate and wiping her face? If she's a proper mother, not a bad mother, she'd be spitting on it and then wipe. Because that's what mothers do with kids, isn't it? Wipe the faces. Anyway, so there we go. Alright, they're scanning for PDTs, personal data transmitters. All the colonists had them, I presume, subcutaneously fitted. In the book, what's his face? Carter Burke doesn't know what they are. He's got to be told about them. I think it's that. Yeah. But in this, he knows all about them. There we go. So looking for those. Then she talks to her, says her name's Newt, and she says, "Where's you got brother and sisters? No, your mum and dad? Yeah, where's your mum and dad? They're dead. Okay, can I go now?" She says, "Poor Carrie hen." Anyway, alright, he's Bishop checking out one of the face huggers because it's magnificent, isn't it? Excuse me, more wheezy for some reason. Anyway, this is Spunkmeyer. I think this shot here, where he turns round from his... in a minute, here. Where he turns round. I think this shot, he were originally going to have double irises. They were going to wear contact lenses with double irises. But they decided against it. Because he looked freaky. There is photos of him with them in, and didn't work. Right, so they found them. They're in the atmosphere processor. So it's a goddamn town meeting. So they've got to go and check that out. And everybody's got to go except Bishop. They leave Bishop there doing his research. So off they go. I'm guessing this is a model. Looks like a model. But this isn't. This is the actual APC, Acton Power Station. They had to reinforce the floor because it was that heavy. Remember, it was like 30 odd tons or whatever. They had to reinforce the floor so it didn't fall through. Also at Acton Power Station, they found that it was stuffed full of asbestos. So they had to spend a lot of money getting all the asbestos out. And they found that afterwards, when they'd done that, the air quality at the Acton sets were better than the air quality at the Pinewood sets. So there you go. Oh, keep doing that, don't. Right, so here we go. They've arrived, and they're going to check out find the colonists. They're going down the stairways. I think there was just one stairway. They just kept changing this thing that says level 1, level 2. I think they just kept changing that. I think there was just one of them. But you'd never know. But anyways, right. So they're going in and they find some kind of secreted resin. There it is. So how did the aliens do that? Where does it come from? Do they spit it out? Does it come out the bums? I don't know. The armpits? I don't know. But it looks cool anyway. So anyway, so they're checking it out. It says, looks like some kind of secreted resin. Yeah, but secreted from what? So they're checking stuff out. And there you go. And they find that the colonists, and they're all cocooned up. Have they found them yet? Yes, because she tells Newt to go sit up front. Then Ripley notices that they're underneath the primary heat exchangers, and if they fire their weapons in there, they'll rupture the cooling system and blow them all to kingdom come. So apparently they could just use flame units. Or a shotgun if you just happen to have one of those. But anyway, so they've got to disarm themselves. I'm guessing the smart guns, they can't disarm them. They've just got like some sort of, I don't know, a thing, a locking mechanism, so they can't fire it, I'm guessing. But luckily Vasquez has spares. Anyway, right on Vaz. But Hicks has got a shotgun that he keeps for close encounters. There you go. A shotgun. But everybody's else has got to make do with their flame units. Right, so anyway, so I think they find the colonists. Oh no, they've all been cocooned. They find an alive one. They find an egg and some husks of face huggers. They're going to find it. There we go. She's alive, but she's got a chest burster going to come out any second now. That should have been a cue to make a tactical withdrawal. Yes, it should have done. Yes. Yes. So hang on. We'll pull back and we'll have a think about this before we go in again. No rush. But, I don't know. They've got to go in and save the colonies. Those dumbass colonists, haven't they? But anyway, so she's gonna chest burster's gonna come out. She says, "Kill me," just like in the game. The Alien. I think it's the Alien 3 game, isn't it? For the Genesis, you'd call it Genesis. We call it the Mega Drive, where you just see him. You find the colonists. If there's no colonists, I think it's supposed to be prisoners going, "Help, kill me." Anyway, whatever. So the chest burster comes out. Is it going to show it? It's a little bit different. Here it comes. It's a little bit different to what we've seen before. It's got arms. Here it comes. Apologies for the gore and gruesomeness. Here it is. It's got arms. And in the behind the scenes, it shows them testing out the puppet. It's doing all that stuff, and its little arms are going like that, and it looks amazing. Even though it's just like a little rubber. It's like a rough puppet of it. It hasn't got the outside bit on it. It looks cool. So this one's got arms. I think the original was supposed to have arms. Its original design was supposed to have arms, but the obviously budget or whatever, they didn't get around to doing it. So it didn't have arms. But it did have a boat, a hat, and a cane, and go, "Hello, my baby. Hello, my honey." It does all that. I know that's Spaceballs. The Marines may have lived if they pulled back and made a defence line. They were doomed as soon as they set foot, or as soon as they set off from Gateway Station. Anyway, so they go, they burn her to death. I had to put a bullet through her head first. I think she was dead anyway. So they burn that off. Then they hear all this hissing around them, and movement, because the aliens are up there in the. There we go. Look, they're there. Look, they're coming. Are you scared? But there's movement all around, so I think this is where they're telling them, pull back or whatever. All right, and it's there. It's behind you, mate. It's behind you. I don't know which one is that. Is that Dietrich? I can't tell which one it is. I think it's Dietrich, isn't it? Dietrich gets got. There she goes. And then she gets Frost. Remember, Frost were given all the clips and stuff, the ammo. So he's going to blow up in a minute after getting burnt, look. So they're dropping like flies now. Wizbowski and Crow are down as well. I've no idea which two those were, but they were in there somewhere. So they're down. Is that Wizbowski? Don't know. Might have been Crow. Who knows? Oh no, Wizbowski's still screaming. Look. Shooting guns. Because the smart guns are going off. Cool sound for the smart gun, by the way.
Who's firing? God damn it!
Let's rock and all that. Cool stuff. They're coming out of the goddamn walls. They're coming out of the walls. Oh no. They've got to lay down suppressing fire with the incinerators and fall back in squads to the dropship or whatever. This is all after incinerators. But, they're not getting the message. They're panicking because they don't know what's going on. They've never encountered this sort of enemy before, etc. So, Ripley has got to take matters into her own hands because he freezes up. He doesn't know what to do. He's out of his depth. There you go. So she's going to deal with it. So she takes control. She just knows how to drive it. Maybe she drove a similar thing in the loading docks. Who knows? Dear. But anyway, here she goes. She's going to save him. I'm guessing this is I don't know. I'm guessing this is a model. Some of it will be a model, and some of it that'll be a model, won't it? They won't have crashed the real thing, will they? I have no idea. I have no idea. But anyway, right. So anyway, they're pulling back. The Marines look firing their guns, not worried about the primary heat exchangers. And this is where I think this is where Drake is going to cop for it. There we go. She's arrived now. They're getting into the APC, the ones who were left. And there's a. Oh, yeah, by the way, do we get a good? Let me go back. You notice the aliens. There we go. That's a good shot of it. They don't have the clear dome that they did in the first film, and I think in the films after this as well. James Cameron liked the design underneath the smooth dome, so he left that bit off. He thought they looked better without it, and I've got to admit, I agree. I think they do, but still look cool. The alien warriors. Anyway, so this one cops for it, but remember they've got acid for blood. Let's blow it away, and some of that acid goes on to Drake. Oh no, like that, and then the flames go into the APC, and then another alien comes through the door, and then he blows its head off. The goddamn door, and says, "Eat this," he says, blows its brains out, but then some of the acid hits Hudson on the arm, but he's fine. It must have been a tiny little bit. Anyway, so they've got to get out. So she reverses out and drives, like a woman. Oh, I've missed a bit, haven't I? There we go. There's one on top. Look, well, we haven't done. One gets on top. Where are we? And it's, I think. In the book, I think it's got like a stinger or something on its tail. One of them, it smashes through the cockpit window or whatever. Here it is, clatter. I think it's supposed to be like something on the end of its tail, and I think it's described in the book as a stinger that she'd never seen before. But obviously it doesn't get her. She hits the brakes and then runs it over with a satisfying squelch. I'm guessing has it got tyres? Maybe they're acid-proof tyres. Don't know, but it seems fine. She bursts out of the processing plant, atmosphere processor, but she's blown the transaxle, whatever that is. And she's just grinding metal. So anyway, she saved them. She saved the day and earned the respect of the Marines that are left. Admittedly, there's not many left. Gorman got hurt in the kerfuffle. Something landed on his head and he's knocked out. Anyway, we learned that some of their squad is still alive and now they're being cocooned. And you can see he's still smoking a bit. You know, he got some on his arm. He's still smoking a bit of AB smoke. Anyway, so Ripley comes up with the idea. He says, "Take off and nuke the entire site from orbit." I mean, it's the only way to be sure. He says, "Effing A." But I can never remember his name. Burke. Burke says, no, but there's significant dollar value to this facility. I can't authorise it. She says, well, Hicks has authorisation. He's in command now. Corporal Hicks is just a grunt, no offence. And then Hicks sort of like takes offence and says, right, we're going to blow the bugger up. So he contacts Ferro, tells her to come and pick him up. So they get ready, they get out of the APC, and I presume they go to a landing area. I don't know, an LZ. So she's getting ready to take off. Here comes Spunkmeyer. Don't know where he was. Maybe we're having a wee, but comes running in and finds some gooey stuff. Oh, look, there's goo. But she says, get in here. So they take off. I'm guessing Spunkmeyer got by an alien at some point there. We don't know. We don't know Spunkmeyer's fate. But remember, they're going to take off and nuke the site from orbit. But they've left Bishop in the med bay doing his research. So they were just going to leave him there, weren't they? Anyway, but Ferro gets got. There we go. Oh, it is angry, is that alien, isn't it? So it gets Ferro, and obviously the dropship crashes. Cool bit of rear projection coming up. There it is. I said in my audio commentary, I think some people, I think this looks super cool. Yes, you can tell it's a rear projection, but I still think it looks super cool. I'm mostly impressed because obviously they did it. They must have done it, the effect shots for the explosion and the dropship crashing before, principles photography, or before this scene was shot. Unless this is a pickup shot, I don't know. But obviously these are in front of it and it's playing on the screen behind them. Because they didn't have a huge budget for blue screen effects, so they did a lot of stuff in camera, what they could in camera. There are some blue screen effects, the ship in space and stuff like that. But a lot of stuff like that, and I think it's effective. It looks really good. So anyway, so the dropship crashes into the atmosphere processor, so they've no way to get back up to the Sulaco now. So there we go. It's a pretty real shit now. It's game over, man. So anyway, so she says, does Newt, that they should get inside now because they come at night mostly. So they decide to go back into operations. So they'll be heading back. So here they are. There we go. They tell Bishop, I imagine, that we're going to come back for you, mate. And or maybe they just didn't say anything at all. Maybe they haven't told him the dropship's been destroyed until they have to. Anyway, so we're learning what weapons they've got. They've got some guns, some pulse rifles, and a bit of ammo. Not a lot, but they've got the robot sentries, which are cool. They've got a flame unit as well. So that's where we learn that 17 days before they be counted as overdue. And then there's the added flight time as well. So they've got to last there for a really long time. So it's not looking good, is it? I'm guessing there's plenty of rations as well. Anyway, they're not just going to live on the donuts that the colonists have left behind. Anyway, so Hudson's got to... she's keeping Hudson busy. She still doesn't trust... Ripley still doesn't trust Bishop, so she says, you keep up your research and stuff like that. Basically, stay out of my way. So, here we are. So they're working stuff out, what they can do, and... welding up, shoring up their defences and welding doors and stuff like that. Here's a map. Look, there's a stairway there and an office there. There they are. They must be in their operations. An airlock. They're on the planet. What are they in the airlock for? and the tunnel. That's how they get in there, through this tunnel, which connects directly with the processing plant. That's how the aliens are getting in. Right, so that's what they're going to do. So off they go to work, moving things and setting things up and doing cool stuff and setting up the sentry guns and all that stuff and wasting bullets by throwing, checking the guns. There we go, throwing stuff and just wasting bullets for the whatever. See, we're welding some of the doors shut, and then Hicks gives Ripley a like a watch thing that's got a tracking device that can use. It says range in meters. So thank goodness America's moved to the metric system by the 22nd century. Anyway, but I bet British road signs are still in miles by then. Anyway, so there we go. So as we learn that there's a blossoming romance. I think this is about as blossoming as it gets. But anyway. Right, so they've just got to wait now. She puts Newt to bed. She's a bad mother again. Lies to her about dolls dreaming and stuff. And then she puts, is this a heater? Or is it just a light? I don't know. But she turns it on. There we go, it comes on. It looks like a heater to me. Puts it right next to the bed, so burning all the bedclothes and stuff. It tells you she's a terrible mother. Anyway, so she tells her that she had a daughter and she died, and that because she's a bad mother and left her. And promises not to let anything happen to New. So there we go. So she's got a new daughter now. She even calls her mommy at the end. Anyway, so there we go. Right, so she's going to go back out. Oh, well, she points up at the thing and says, look at that camera up there. I'll just be outside. I'm not going anywhere. So, there we go. Right, so, they're now talking about, you know, where are the eggs coming from? Each one of the facehuggers comes from an egg. And she says, and there are over 100 colonists, so who's laying the eggs? And then I think, but there were loads of eggs in the derelict ship. So why didn't she just think that they brought those to the colony rather than just making up a queen that lays the eggs? The logical thing I'd think they brought lots of eggs from the derelict ship for study. I don't know. That's where I would jump to. But anyway, she doesn't. Come up with the idea of the Queen, which is actually Hudson's idea. But anyway, we also learned that Burke, because Ripley says destroy the two alive face huggers, and Bishop says that Burke said that it was very clear that they're to be kept alive. So she has a confrontation with him, and now she's learned that it was Burke that sent the Jordan family out to the derelict, and it was because of him that everybody's dead, and she's not going to stand for his nonsense no more. Blah blah blah. This is where we learned the year, by the way, 6/12/79. So it's all because of this date is what puts it in the franchise in a time thing. So now because of this, we learned that the first film was set in 21-22. Anyway, so she's rumbled him, and he says, we can all come out of this heroes if we, get one of these aliens back to Earth for the weapons division and all that. So there you go. She grabs him by his shirt and says, I'm going to nail you to the wall, and he threatens her. Thought you'd be smarter than this. Anyway. Right, so, the sentry guns are going off, shooting aliens, and all. It's a shooting gallery down there, and they run out of bullets, them two. Remember, they've got 4. So they run out of bullets, and they're at the door, and they're pounding on it, but luckily they don't get through. The Bishop says, I've got some bad news, and that's all we seem to get around here, but that emergency venting, it's going to blow up. They seem close, don't they? I don't know. Is it a magnifying window? I thought the atmosphere processor would quite away from the colony. It looked like it when we saw it before, but never mind. Anyway, so it's going to blow up. What does it say? How long? How long does he say? He said just say. Is it 4 hours or 8 hours? I can't remember. 4 hours. To 4 hours till it blows up. So essentially, they're doomed. So it's not a waiting game anymore, waiting for rescue. They've got to get out of there. They can't shut it down because it's the equipment's damaged. Oh, and the damage from the dropship crashing into it. It's going to blow up anyway. Man, I was getting short. Anyway. So they've got to get the other dropship down from the Sulaco, which is still up there. I presume in a stationary orbit. So they're all saying we can't contact it because the transmitter was on the APC. It's fried, man. But they can use the colony transmitters, but somebody's got to go out to the colony transmitter because the wire in between there is damaged. Somebody's got to go out there and patch in with a terminal and bring the thing down. And, they're arguing over who's going to go. And Bishop thinks he's Frodo Baggins and he says, I'll go, I'll do it. And then Gandalf goes. So he goes. Does Bishop. You're right, Bishop should go. But he says, I'm the only one qualified to pilot the remote part of the dropship anyway. Right, so he's going to go in this pipe, which always gives me super claustrophobia. So in he goes. Vasquez gives him a gun and just hands it straight back. There you go, just hands it straight back to Ripley. And off he goes. Does super claustrophobic. I can't breathe. And I don't know if did they film it, a scene? Or there is famously there is a thing. It's described in the book. I don't know if they filmed it or not. I'm thinking in my head that they didn't, but they just cut it out. It's not in this either. Where he comes across like an air vent or something, and an alien sees him, and its tongue, its tongue teeth thing comes out, but then it kind of ignores him. It realizes he's not alive, and just walks off. But anyway. Right, the other guns are going off, but luckily they fend off the aliens, and they end up with just like a couple of rounds left on each one because they're retreating. There you go, 10 rounds left in that one. But the aliens don't know that they've nearly run out of bullets. They'll be finding another way in, and they do. Right, so it's going to show Ripley how to use a gun now. Is it now? There we go. Yes, how to use the what is it? I forgot what they call them. Personal friend of mine, the M41A pulse rifle. Hey, so that tells her all about it. I think this scene kind of surprised Sigourney Weaver because famously she's anti-gun, and she says when she read the script, she kind of skipped all the scene description bits and the bits that didn't really involve her. Plus this part where she's handed a gun and she says, "Why am I being given a gun?" I said, "Didn't you read the script?" Ish. So she wasn't happy about this, but it's integral to the movie and the end. Didn't she read the end of it? She's blowing everything up. But anyway, whatever. So James Cameron took her to a shooting range, and now she's super into guns. No, she ain't, but she did have fun. But I think she's still anti-gun, which whatever. So right, so he's still heading out through his tube. There you go, showing her all the stuff. But remember, she's never fired it, but she soon gets the hang of it when needs must. Gorman's fine now. He's got a bump on his head. Right, she's going to go to sleep now. Newt's under the bed with that heater burning the place down. So she goes to sleep. And I want to know what happens next. Burke must be really stealthy. Maybe he took his shoes off. I don't know. But there you go. Anyway, Bishop's got to the transmitter and he's patching in. And it's all cool. He's pressing buttons, look, enable and commit and stuff like that. Not just like enter. It's enable, commit and purge and all that. Yeah. backspace. So he gets the other ship ready. I wonder what the other one... Is it the same? Is it another bug stomper just in blue to show that it's a different ship? I don't know. So that's getting ready and coming down. But then Ripley wakes up and she sees... she puts the... I told you she's a bad mother. She puts the kid to sleep in the place where they've got 2 alive facehuggers. I wouldn't risk it. I'd find somewhere outside there. But anyway, the jars are open. So I'm guessing Burke snuck in without anybody seeing him. I'm guessing he took his shoes off so he could be quiet. Opened these without them getting him. And took her rifle that she put on the bed. Took that because she reaches up and she sees the rifle's gone. I think she sees that it's outside or whatever. But it's gone anyway. But then an alien arrives. No, not an alien. A facehugger. Remember there's 2 of them. The door's locked as well. She can't open the door. So she says, smash the glass. Smash the glass. But anyway, she's looking up at the cameras. Help me, we're in trouble. And this is where Burke turns off the camera because he's a proper baddie. And nobody notices. He does it well, Luckily, nobody's looking in the same direction as he is. But anyway, so there we go. Because he's a baddie. And she says, break the glass, says Newt. I'm guessing this is proper reinforced perspex or something, because she seems to really whack it with this chair, look. Doesn't she? I bet they had fun testing this. I wonder how many they broke. Well, gives it a right belt, doesn't she? Must be whatever she's swinging at it. That must be light. I don't know, but they can't get out that way. But luckily, they can hear it scurrying about. But luckily, remember she's a smoker, which was established earlier on in the film. She's a smoker, so she's got a lighter with her. Now, which came first? Was she a smoker already? I don't know if did she smoke in the first film? I can't remember. But was she a smoker already? And then when it got to this bit, James Cameron went, "Ooh, she's a smoker. She's got a lighter. She can use the lighter to turn on the sprinklers." Or did he do this bit first and then thought, I've got to establish that she's a smoker earlier on in the film? I don't know. But anyway, here we go. There you go. She does that. Sets off the sprinklers and the fire alarm. So the soldiers go in and kill the aliens. There we go. The thing comes and gets her. Oh, a cool shot, by the way. Here it is. Can you see the string? See the string there? I think that's actually reverse. When we see it jump at her, hang on, where are we? There we go. When this bit jumps at, it's just been pulled on a string. This is one of the scenes in the documentary where James Cameron's telling them, how to do it. He says, just pull it on the string and it'll look fine. Pull it towards camera. And he's saying, but put some gloves on, so you can hold the string better. Telling them what to do, the special effects guys, and it works. But there's one shot. It might be. I don't know. There's one shot where it's in reverse and the water's going up, but I've never noticed it. It I don't know. Is it this that's? There's a reverse. I'm trying to work out which one it is. It might be that where that goes round the neck. Wrong way. There we go. And I think the water might be going up. I'm not sure. Let's watch it again. I don't know. I can't tell. But apparently, it's the water's going up because they did it in reverse. It's round the neck and then they pulled it off. So that's how they did it. And then reversed. It looks like the tail's going round the neck. Newt's super strong and holds onto that table. There they go. In they go. Shoot that one that Newt's going to get Newt, and then they pull the one that's off. That's on Ripley, and shoot that one as well. There we go. She's fine. She says, it was Burke. I know it was because he's horrible. Even though she's no evidence to that matter. But anyway. So she tells him all his plan. I don't know how she knows his plan, but he doesn't own up to it. But anyway, they're going to kill him, but then the power goes out. Because, they cut the power. Oh, they cut the power. They're animals, man. So they've got to go and check out what's going on. But they come in, the aliens. They pick them up on the there we go, on the motion tracker. So they're welding the door shut, and they come in and they're inside the room, and this is where he looks through the in the crawl space above the room, and the famous shot. There we are, which is just upside down. He just had the camera upside down, so just fellas in alien suits walking on the floor, but to them upside down, it's like they're crawling on the ceiling, just like Lionel Richie. Anyway, so here we go. Lots of shooting and stuff going on now, and the aliens are dropping down, and all that stuff, and it's all kicking off. And Burke takes this opportunity to run off. I think he locks the door, doesn't he? Locks the door. There we go. So they can't escape because he's a baddie and a coward. But they're killing the. Shooting the aliens and stuff, and then they get through this one, and the aliens are bashing their way through. The ship's on its way, 16 minutes, and they're in the vents now. They've got to get out, and the shooting and stuff. There was a scene with Burke, and we see that he gets got, but we don't see him get got. And I thought there was a scene where she comes across him, there's Ripley later on, in when she goes after Newt later, and she comes like he's being cocooned, and she gives him a gun or something. Or am I thinking of something else? Am I thinking of Deep Rising? I don't know, but anyway, oh aye, Vasquez gets acid on her ankle, and I said in my commentary, I said it'd be cool if it had shown her leg, a foot coming off because of the acid, a bit like in The Fly, when it does the acid on his foot. It belches up the acid, doesn't it, the Brundlefly, and his foot comes off. They should have done that with Vasquez, but they don't. Anyway, right, so to go across this, they've got to head right through the chompers soon, I think, Sigourney Weaver. But they've got to go over this windmill, not windmill, like a water wheel or whatever the hell it is. Got to go over there and up that ladder, but Newt falls because there's an explosion. Here we go. They're trapped by aliens, so they blow themselves up with a grenade. There they are. Boom. They're dead. And Newt falls down and slides down. Here she goes. Hang on. Where are we? She slides. Where is she? She slides down this tube, a vent or whatever, and apparently she really enjoyed it. She really enjoyed it and wanted to keep doing it over and over, so she kept fluffing the lines. But anyway, there was a scene with Burke wrapped up. Oh, right, deleted it. I thought there was. I thought I'd seen it somewhere. So I didn't just imagine. It's not another Mandela effect thing I'm having. Anyway, she slides down there she goes, whee! She really enjoyed it, so she kept fluffing the line so she could do it again. She did it about 6 times or something like that. Anyway, right, so she's landed in some water at the bottom. But they're coming together. There they are. They're going to cut through the deck plating, whatever. But there's an alien going to come and get her. Hang on. Where is it? Oh, for Pete's sake. There it is. An alien comes out of the water. It looks really cool. I think it does anyway. But it didn't scare her. She was fine. She said she did carry head. She said she was never scared because they went through it loads of times. It's a man in a suit and all that stuff is going to come up, and it's only a film after all. And, so they went through it. She said she was never scared. She said the only time she was scared is when they went to the premiere and she saw that scene that we saw earlier on with the face hugger in the jar that comes up against the glass, makes us jump. That was the only thing that scared her because she didn't know about that because she wasn't involved with that scene, so she wasn't expecting that. Everything else, she was fine with. Anyway, right, so it's taken her. The alien, the xenomorph, has taken Newt. So they've got to go and find her. But she said, we've got to find her. They don't kill you and all that. But she wasn't saying that for the others, was she? For Apone and all that. Anyway. So they get in this elevator / turbo lift, but then an alien comes. Oh, I've done too far. an alien comes in a minute. And just as the door's about to close, here it comes, and he shoots it with his gun. But then the acid goes on him, and apparently it goes on his face as well. But it doesn't seem to. I don't know. It doesn't seem to be bothered. There we go. It hasn't gone on his face there, has it? But later on, we will see him. He's all bandaged up, and in what's his Neil Blomkamp's Alien 5, or Alien 5, his concept art for Hicks showed him with like a scarred face from the acid, but it hasn't gone on him, has it? But anyway, whatever. Right, so there we go, the get up thing. But here comes the drop ship. How long? Plenty time. 26 minutes before it blows up. Before it all goes kablooey. So they get him aboard, and they fly to the processor. She's gonna tackle up, or whatever the phrase is, to sort stuff out. If Turbolift wasn't locked in history, it would sound like a really silly name, like Hypervator or something. Or, what is it now? What they call them in This Island Earth? I forgot what they call it now. That thing that they build. It's like a triangular TV. I want one of those. Interocitor. There we go, an interocitor. Anyway, she's suiting up. That's what she's doing. She's talking. He's giving himself some morphine. Give it to him. So in they go. Cool model shots and stuff like that. It's all blowing up and electric and all that stuff. She's armed up to the eyeballs. Because remember, in the dropship, it's fully stocked, isn't it? It's fully stocked is the dropship, so she's got tons of weapons. It's where we learn the name. It's Dwayne Hicks and Ellen Ripley. There we go. So they're in love now, probably. So off she goes, going down in the elevator and sorting herself out. And here she is. Thinks she's Arnold Schwarzenegger. And she's using the tracker, remember, because she put the tracker, I forgot to mention, she put the tracker on thingamabob, Newt. So she's using the tracker to find Newt. Sorry, I missed your answer. YouTube loves putting in ads anytime I post a comment, so I missed my answer. Interocitor I was on about. Weird names for stuff. This Island Earth had the device called an interocitor, didn't it? Anyway, that triangle-shaped TV thing with lasers in it, If you've watched This Island Earth, you know what I mean. Anyway, right, so she's looking for Newt. There we go. Newt's 49.4 metres away. I don't know how it works out the direction, but anyway, whatever. I'm guessing maybe it's the sound it makes. Maybe it's like a Doppler thing. Maybe it's it's like that. Anyway, who knows? Right, so, but then she finds... Oh, by the way, she's dropping flares as she goes, as signposts, so she can find her way back. She doesn't find Newt, but she finds the tracking thing. And I think in this, she's supposed to find Burke as well, isn't she, somewhere in this. But there you go, she finds the tracking thing. So, oh no, I'm never going to find Newt. But luckily, Newt, pardon me, has a really annoying shrill scream. So she could just follow that. There's Newt, all wrapped in fiberglass or something. That's probably not good for her. But Ripley was even more so badass in this one. What a great character. This is where Burke would be correct. Oh, this is where Burke would be correct. Right, okay. Thank you. Yes, she is a badass. Anyway, right, so Newt sees this alien, this egg, open up, and here comes the face hugger coming out. But luckily, she's got a really shrill scream. Here we go. Shut up! But shut up! So she can find her. She just home in on that scream. So there we go. That was my James Horner music. So she's ripping at the fiberglass stuff, the secreted resin. I think, did she cut her hand on this stuff? Again, I'm thinking of a different film. I'm sure I've seen somewhere that she cut her hand. Because it is like fiberglass or something that's not good for you. And so she gets her out. Then it's all blowing up now because it's like the end of a James Bond film. But then she's in a field of Japanese cabbages. Have you seen that meme? Let's see if I can find it. I think it's Japanese. Oh, there we go. Yes, it is. She's in that field of Japanese cabbages. Cabbage field in Japan looks like an alien's nest. What horrible cabbages they have in Japan. Anyway. Right, where were we? Why does the resin need to be a secret? Because it's secreted. Oh dear. It's been secreted away in a special place. Anyway, so they're in the middle of this field of Japanese cabbages. And this is where we're going to meet there. We'll meet the Queen with her ovipositor and her egg sac. There it is, depositing an egg, all squelchy and gooey. Ugh. So there it is. And then we're going to see the Queen. And she's breathing. Oh, she's making a noise that sounds like breathing. So we can hear her. Can you hear her? Get a closer look. But there she is anyway, in all her glory. I think, is the Alien Queen still the largest puppet, movable puppet ever made for a film? I'm guessing it is. But anyway, there she is looking at it. This is where... There we go. You can hear her breathing. If they're breathing, how can they survive in space? I don't know. Maybe she's not breathing. I don't know. Anyway. So here's the Alien Queen. Cool puppet. Cool design. Stan Winston, did I mention Stan Winston did the creature effects and makeup effects and stuff? The late, great Stan Winston. Why did they change the name of the company after he died? It's called Legacy Effects now, isn't it? So why didn't they... why did they change? Why didn't they just keep it as Stan Winston Studios? In his honour. It's called it Legacy instead. And they're still going, but I don't think they're as big as when Stan were alive. I don't think they're as big as they were, when he were around. Anyway, Farscape might have bigger. I guess that's not film. Oh, I don't know. I say I haven't seen Farscape. What, bigger puppies? Don't know. Well, let's look that up as well. I'll just get rid of my cabbages thing. What is the largest puppet used in a film? Actually, it might actually be something like Never Ending Story. They had some big puppets in that, didn't they? The largest puppet used in a film is believed to be the 16-foot, 400-pound giant skeleton puppet created for Leica's Kubo and the Two Strings. I haven't seen that. Oh, there we go. I thought that was stop motion. This puppet rigged to a hexapod and controlled by motion control rigs was designed to be the largest articulated puppet ever animated in stop motion. That's for stop motion, but it's still big, isn't it? But I'm on about a puppet, a puppeteered puppet. I don't know. I don't know. I'm going to say it still is in my head canon. It's stop motion with puppets. Yes, I have just found that out. Anyway, right. So here's the alien warriors all hissing at her. There they are. Look, all smiling. He might be smiling at her, mightn't it? Look. Hang on, where are we? There you go. It's just going. Hello. Anyway, so she kind of comes to. Hang on. Oh, there we go. She fires off the flamethrower and then she points it at the eggs and they come to an understanding with the Queen alien. And the Queen orders her warriors to back off, and then Ripley, being a human, goes back on their agreement. I was guessing the Queen were going to let her go, as long as she didn't, destroy the eggs. But no, because you can't trust humans, because you don't find the aliens effing each other up. for a percentage. No, you can't trust humans. So she burns the eggs and then starts shooting the aliens and all that, and then firing grenades into the Queen's egg sack. There they are. Look, I think we see some rear projection again here. There we go. That's rear projection, isn't it? So there we go. Let's go. She's shooting and all that stuff. Hang on. There's one behind her. Look, they're forgetting about, they're not worrying about the acid for blood at this point. Don't worry about spraying acid for blood everywhere. Don't worry about it. It don't get them. She throws some of the grenades into the fire, and it's all blowing up. As I said, it's like the end of a James Bond film. But the Queen's cross now, so she's going to chase them. She detaches herself, like that, from her egg sack. I'm guessing she's got a couple of eggs up there. I'm pointing. You can't see. She's got a couple of eggs, because for Alien 3, she must have had at least 2 eggs up there. But anyway, whatever. For later. Right, so they're running out. Look, it's all sparking and stuff. And maybe a Terminator's going to come back in time. I don't know. We've got 4 minutes, because they've always got to have a woman's voice saying, you have 4 minutes to reach minimum safe distance. Unless it's Alien Resurrection, then it's a fella. But never mind. Right, so they're going up in the elevator. That's cool, isn't it? That's a desktop wallpaper, isn't it? So here she comes. Amazing puppet, really, really good. Totally in camera, practical, But there it is. But they get in the lift and up it goes. But luckily the Queen knows how to operate the lift. I'm guessing there's no buttons. It must be automatic. I don't know. Unless she just gets in and just presses top floor or whatever, or gate 28. But anyway, so she's on the way. But the ship's gone, the drop ship's gone when she goes. Bishop, God damn you! She thinks, the android has betrayed them again. So she's like, oh no, everything's blowing up. And then the Queen aliens arriving in the other elevator. Here it is. Close your eyes, baby. We'll soon be dead. But Bishop arrives in the other dropship, and he opens the thingamabob, the hatch, whatever, I don't know. They climb aboard, but an explosion, and the dropship crashes into the whatever this is, and the Queen alien's around here somewhere. She's in there somewhere, hiding in all this wreckage. Although it doesn't really show it, does it? So she's hiding, she's disguised herself as some wreckage as the Queen alien. There we go. And the getaway, look. And somehow she's a shapeshifter. She's a cameloid or whatever. She's disguised herself as wreckage. So they take off. Punch it, Bishop. Good job we didn't take it literally, isn't it? But off they go. So they take it off. It's all going to blow up any minute now. Hang on. Cotton wool clouds. I've gone past it. No, I haven't got there yet. With James Horner's music that's been used in every trailer ever since. There we go. Cotton wool clouds. This is all cotton wool. Shows it in the behind the scenes. They've got lights underneath it. Hang on, where are we? I'm going to show it again. There we go. For Pete's sake. There we go. That's it. It's all cotton wool with just lights underneath. It's amazing. A cameloid from the hit film Section 31. Yes, that one. Oh dear. Anyway, so they get away and they head back to the Sulaco and everything's lovely. It's over and we can all go home now. Look, they're all lovely. They've got to get a stretcher to get Hicks to Medbay, and they say, "Oh, you did okay." And then, acid and Bishop gets ripped apart by the Queen alien. Her tail stinger thing comes through him. And he's thinking, I wish I hadn't had that milk, because he's trapped in a... I can remember. Off Anchorman. When he's drinking the milk in the foam box. Anyway, there you go. Gets ripped apart. There she is. She's not disguised as wreckage anymore, is the Queen. She's coming out now, because the wreckage is nowhere to be seen, is it? So she was disguised as wreckage. Don't worry, he's fine. She tells Newt, go hide. She goes, no, here. And because obviously, what sensors do they have? Obviously, they can hear things and see. I don't know. Do they have sensors that we don't know about, that are beyond our ken? I don't know, that we can't imagine. But they obviously know where things are, don't they? But they haven't got eyes or ears or anything, have they? But anyway, they obviously can sense where things are. But anyway, so she runs into that other room, just leaves Newt out there. She goes in the other room, and he's thinking, well, I'm in a pretty pickle here, as his stuff squirting out all over the place. His Bishop, she's hiding, but the Queen's going to get her now. Look, oh no, it's going to get her. But here comes the famous bit. They have smission. What does that mean? So it's another thing that's over my head. Anyway. Oh, smission. Oh, their senses. The smission. Like smelly, hearing vision. Something, I don't know. Anyway. Where were we? Here she is in the loader with the famous line. Here it comes. Are you ready? Hang on, I don't want to be too long. Oh, why is it going slow? I've pressed a button, and I don't know. Hang on, speed. I've pressed a button. Which one is it? Where's the playback speed? It's here somewhere, isn't it? I've pressed a button and I don't know which one it is. Oh dear. Why is there a playback speed in here? Video track, no, not that one. Oh, for Pete's sake. Just bear with me. Just get rid of that a minute. There, good playback rate. Oh, for some reason I lowered it to half. I don't know why. Right, off we go. Off we jolly well go. Oh, right. I think that's from Futurama. Smission. Is it from Futurama? I haven't seen that for years. I haven't seen Futurama for years. Anyway, famous line. Probably the most famous line in the film.
Get away from her, you bitch!
Oh, it is exciting, isn't it? It is really exciting. So, big showdown. The Queen Alien versus Ripley in the power loader. And it's super cool. And she's bashing her with it and all that and going, come on! And we're all getting excited. And we're all cheering in the seats and stuff. Because it's exciting. And look, no, and stuff. And she's trying to get her with a alien tongue thing. And luckily, these power loaders, you can operate the airlock from the arm of the power loader. There we go. You're opening the airlock, look. But here comes the tongues coming out. There we go. Cool stuff. It is really good. I wish I could just play it, but I can't. I'm just making sure we're still going. Just making sure we're still going. Yes, we are. And then she's got a little, like not a flamethrower, like a blowtorch thing there. Why she got that on a power loader, I have no idea, but it did the trick. So she picks up the Queen, drops her into the airlock. Just pause that on a good bit. But note, mistake in the film, Justin. Don't watch it again. It's rubbish. It's got mistakes in. The orange light on top gets broken when the power loader smashes at the side of the airlock. But then it's fine again when we see it there. James Cameron, Oh dear. Anyway, so they're falling into the airlock. With the loader on top of the Queen, and she's broken a tail as well. If you notice, the tail's lashing about. Look, the end of the tail's broken off the pointy bit. And I don't know if that's deliberate or a mistake. I don't know. Because I think later on in the bit we see it, and it's got the sharp pointy bit on again. But anyway, never mind. She used the Omega 13. Yes, that's what she went back 13 seconds, didn't she? Anyway. Anyway, they're in Jurassic Park. Look at JP12. What are they up to now? 7. The newest one's going to be Jurassic Park 7, isn't it? So they're getting there. Anyway, right, so she gets out of that and she jumps up onto the ladder thing, and then she opens the airlock. And I'd have been up that ladder and closing this one before I opened the airlock, but never mind. She can't wait for that. She opens the airlock. She's got really strong arms because the Queen's hanging on to her. There we go. Out goes the air. Almost out goes half of Bishop. Anyway, so there the Queen goes. I'm trying to see a tail. If you can see the pointy bit on the tail. Come on, show me your tail. It hasn't got pointy bit there, has it? Can't see. Anyway, look, she's strong as Ripley. Look, she's strong. Yeah, the tail's there. Look, isn't it? Has that got a pointy bit on? I think it has. Anyway, but the Queen loses her grip. Does a shoe come off? I can't actually remember. Maybe a shoe comes off, and the Queen goes out into space. Into space. But we know they can survive in space, don't we? So maybe she's fine. Just floating about out there, you know, much like the big guy in Alien Romulus. But anyway, never mind. They're going to Alien Romulus 2. They're going to find the Queen floating about. You know, it's got its secreted resin and covered itself up. Anyway, so that's the end of the Queen. You know, you don't have to worry about her now. And now Ripley climbs out. There we go. There's a way to open the airlock outer door from in there, but not a way to close it for some reason. She's got to do it from up here, look. She's got anyway, whatever. There we go. She's got to open a little thing and press that button to close it. Why couldn't she close the outer hatch? I don't. Anyway, never mind. Don't worry. There we go. She calls her mummy. Says, "Oh God, we're all safe now," and I'd be scouring that ship just in case there's no others. But maybe they have. But they haven't found the 2 alien eggs that the Queen's left somewhere for the next film. Anyway, so they stick Bishop in a bag. See, he's got a bandage on his face, but he didn't get burned. But never mind. And he's in a thing as well. And they can dream now. We're going to sleep all the way home. Can I dream? Yes, I think we both can. Now, is Alien 3 and Alien Resurrection, is that all a dream before Neil Blomkamp's Alien 5, which we're never going to ever see? But that's what I'm going with in my head canon. By the way, her hair there, she looks like bloody Giorgio Tsoukalos, doesn't she, off Ancient Aliens? Or Londo Mollari, take your pick. But luckily in the next shot, they've mussed it up a bit, look. But anyway, it's all happy stuff. They're going to sleep now, and now they're headed to Fury 161, and all the excitement that's to be had there because the film ends. And it is amazing. It is one of the best films ever made. Top-notch film, really is one of the best. Like I said, won 2 Oscars, nominated for 7. I think Sigourney Weaver should have won it for Best Actress, but no, some bloody deaf woman won it for that film. I forgot to call it now. I mentioned it at the beginning. But yeah, great film, great film. It ends. I noticed the subtitles at the end, although I didn't hear it. So let's have a listen. It says something like scuttering or scampering or something like that. You'll see. So I'm going to play it. Can you put the audio on? We're going to listen. I'm listening. I can't hear out. Pete's sake. I've got to keep pausing it because, you know, copyright stuff. So they're scurrying, but I can't hear out. Oh, could you hear it then? If it were there, it were quiet. I couldn't hear it. Anyway, there we go. That's the end of Aliens Special Edition. Winger says, not quite as good as Ferris Bueller or Labyrinth. Don't start. Don't start. One of the best films ever. I'm going to check my top 10. It's not in my top 10, is it? Is it? I can never remember what I picked for my bloody top 10. Great top 10, wasn't it, if I can't bloody remember it? I'm hopeless. I am bloody hopeless. Let me check. I can't remember when I did my top 10. My top 10 favourite movies of all time. Right. What are the... I can never remember. Superman the movie. RoboCop. Predator. I think I'd actually swap out Predator for this, to be honest. And then I'd watch Predator and probably think, no. Seventh Voyage of Sinbad. By the way, the James Bond film, Spy Who Loved Me. Seventh Voyage of Sinbad. Star Trek 2. Black Hole. Star Wars. Close Encounters. King Kong. Yeah, that's it, isn't it? So one of those I'd go Spy Who Loved Me. That's what's going instead of... Aliens is replacing Spy Who Loved Me in that list. From now on. So there. Justice, I never liked how there was eggs on the ship. Ridiculous. Parts of 3 was okay, but overall stunk. Aliens was excellent, yes. I'm not a huge fan of Alien 3. It's you know, I like it. You know, it's all right, but you know, it's not up there for me. But I can watch it. You know, I don't think it's rubbish or anything. But I want a Bond Alien crossover. Well, he's been to space, hasn't he? Moonraker and RoboCop. Just every other franchise has got to have an Alien crossover, hasn't it? I bet. I forgot the name of the comics company. I forgot what they call it now. I've got the comics that does the Star Trek comics. I bet they've done an Alien Star Trek crossover, haven't they? I bet they have, because they've done everything else. Anyway, right. So there we go. That's the end of Aliens Special Edition. Amazing film. Go and watch it. It's on Amazon. You can rent a bite at Amazon. It's on Disney Plus, but I think it's just the regular version that's on, at least on the UK version of Disney Plus. It's just the theatrical version. And it's on YouTube, innit? And I'll get the bloody Blu-ray or whatever. Or it'll be out on DVD and everything. Just watch it however you can, because it's amazing. I don't think Trek has. They just used. They're gone. IDW Comics. I bet they must have done at some point. They've done everything else. Anyway, right. So we'll leave it there. We will leave it there. We're all done and dusted for another week. But yes, Aliens. Love it. Great film. One of the best. One of the best. What's coming up next? What day are we on? Monday. Wednesday. I don't think I'm going to finish season 2 of Deep Space Nine in time. So it looks like we're going to be doing 1993, 2. I forgot what we're up to. Hang on. I forgot what we're up to. For my top 5 favourite movies of that year, what are we up to? I can remember where I've put the bloody thing. Here it is. Scroll down through all the other years that we've done. Oh, steady. 1993. That's what we'll be doing on Wednesday. Top 5 favourite movies of 1993, plus honourable mentions. That's on Wednesday. On Friday, we'll be doing part 1 of my look at Hammer House of Horror. So we're looking at 2 episodes of that. Witching Time and the 13th Reunion. So that's to come on Friday. It's really, really good. I love the Hammer House of Horror. Particularly the opening credits, the music. Ooh, I don't know, it just gives me the chills. And then next Monday, hang on, where are we? Come here. And then next Monday's thingamabob, Magnificent Mondays, we're looking at Cockneys versus Zombies. Core blimey, Gavner, it's Crawley with Trafalgar's out there. Wingray says, strike with the hammer of horror. Yes. Interesting. I would have kicked off Black Hole or King Kong. No. I'm going to swap out. I forgot what I said. Spy Who Loved Me. That could be number 11. Spy Who Loved Me. Black Hole and King Kong. King Kong's my number 1 favourite film of all time, the original. I think it's amazing. The 1933 one, not the bloody 1976 one, Christ. But the Black Hole is up there as well. I love Black Hole. I love the Black Hole. It's one of my warm blanket films. If I'm stuck for something to watch, I'll put the Black Hole on. I love that film. I just find it so cosy. But anyway. Wingray says, Long versus Alien. Do you mean Kong versus Alien? So, or do you mean Justin Long from Jeepers Creepers and Die Hard 4? What it 4? I think it was 4, wasn't it? And other things. So that's coming up. That was next Monday, and then I think the Monday after that, I've got another one. Could be Predator, I think. Yes, Monday after that is Predator. I've got Magnificent Mondays and Friday Night Appointments for you, sort of like sorted out for the next few weeks. But anyway. It says, I said Kong, it changed it. It's the AI, it's taking over. This is the beginning. This is the beginning of AI taking over. It's changing your words. Anyway, right, so we're done. Oh, pardon me, burping. Right, we'll leave it there. We're all done and dusted. So, I will reiterate, don't forget to like and subscribe, and share the videos, and drop a comment, hit the notification bell and all that stuff. Throw some super thanks and stuff in this general direction. It would be much appreciated. Or become a member, like these cool people. Let me find my picture. Let me find my picture of my members. If you know what I mean. Not picture of me you know what I mean. Anyway, where have I put it? Is this it? Where are you going over there for? Like these cool people. These are the members. Where are they? There they are. Like them, like Justin 34 and Windgrace and Adam Game and Archmage Frey, whoever he is, and President-elect Jackie Bird and Stephanie Barrett and Quest, who I haven't seen for ages. Hope he's all right, Melvin. Gavin Blackburn. So there we go. Become a member like those cool people. So there we go. Did I remove that? Yes. Anywho, right, I'm going now. So we'll leave it there. As I said, thanks Windgrace, thanks Justin, and I don't think Josh Temple. God, I blanked then. And tell I'm getting old. And Josh Temple, who was busy harpooning aliens in the background with his acid-proof harpoons. Yeah, so thank you. And again, don't forget, if you remember, I've put my audio commentary up. On the for members and all that stuff. No disrespect, brother. Winger says, just go next door and ask Quest. Yes, because he lives next door. Because we're all on the same street in England, even though he lives like 200 miles away from me. But anyway. Anywho, right. So I'm going now. So. Again, thanks for tuning in. Thanks for the billions and billions round the world that'll watch this and have watched this live. So we'll leave it there. So thanks for watching. Wherever you are, look after each other. And until next time, I'm sure I've forgotten something. I'm definitely sure I've forgotten to say something. Never mind. I need post-it notes, don't I? But until next time, I'll say they.